After this video, my enemies will be forced to kiss my fucking black ass. First, I'm going to point out all the tests, and there's one more somewhere here. You know, I did a series of tests, right? I passed the flying colors, some of the, the lowest score you can possibly get, the best score you can possibly get, and I wasn't any of these things, okay? Schizophrenia is the most dramatic. I'm not going to waste my time. First, we're going to start with the bipolar. This is, according to a doctor, this is an interview with interview with patient in manic phase of her bipolar disorder. Now, what I want you to look for this whole time is inappropriate emotions. When it becomes socially abnormal, when it becomes something other than socially normative, when it is not socially normative, okay, is when you don't have a good reason to change your moods. This is what I've been saying for quite some time when I say environmental factors, okay? There are a small amount of people that experience what she's experiencing, then there are a large amount of people who are put in the same category, okay? And a lot of people who are experiencing what she's experiencing can be cured with Tai Chi principles, with the things that I'm talking about. See my other channel, my other videos. I don't want to drag this out. I want to get to the point as quickly as I can. I have 7 videos to go through, or 6 videos, and you know, actually I just went through the tests, okay? I have 6 videos to go through. This is the first one. Let me just show you real quick. Remember what to look for.
Okay.
And also keep in mind, psychiatrists have seen hundreds of these cases supposedly before they are given their certificates, so they should know exactly what it looks like. Watch it carefully.
That's not funny, then. Am I still focused? Okay, anyway, back to the seriousness. Okay. She had cancer of the spinal cord when I was 11 years old, and they had to take out her backbone, 8 inches of her backbone out to kill the cancerous tumor.
Oh, shit. Okay, let me start right.
When was that?
1992.
92. Talk a little bit more about the way that sometimes you start crying. I mean, what's the sort of thing that can get you crying?
Missing my mom, for one.
Okay.
She died. I told you that my mom died.
I think so.
April 5th, 1993. My mother passed away.
What happened?
Well, she hadn't walked for 21 years of my life. Am I still focused?
You are.
Okay.
Okay, now, that is out of the ordinary. She's talking about her mother dying, which has a good reason to be sad. I'd argue that she even has a good reason to lose her train of thought. Arguably. That's up for debate. What isn't up for debate is how she starts laughing in a weird way, which does seem sort of like an up and a down. And it does seem like she is suffering from something similar to what they describe as mania, or a manic phase of her bipolar disorder. Okay? This is important. This is key. You do not see this anywhere in my 3,400 videos, which are usually made at the most emotional points of my day. Okay? This is key. Now let's go to the next one, okay? This is a psychotic episode. Remember, they've misdiagnosed me with both psychosis, which is basically psychotic episodes, and mania. Now watch this. Watch what this guy's doing. What? This has been paused for a hell of time. There's no reason why it should be fucking not have been loaded, you know, well ahead of time. Okay, fine. We'll come back to this because obviously YouTube is acting like a bitch. Okay, so we'll go to another psychotic episode. Watch what she's doing and watch carefully. What the fuck?
That's why you're not a real son too. No, come on, act like you're like being talked about for something about the disease. That's what that means. Because somebody said that they were shoot to the devil, another girl had to get you scared to the wrong person. But these are the people that we never got out to long term because they kept killing it out, or because they.
Okay, now let me tell you what is out of the ordinary about this. Some of you might do the same thing to yourself when when you're drunk, you're babbling, you're on drugs, you're really upset. Yes. Okay. If you're not drunk, then you're probably not going to do this in front of somebody else. That's why. That is the characteristic of psychosis, of psychotic. She's psychotic because she is doing this while somebody is standing like what? 3 feet away from her? She must see him with her peripheral vision at this point. And she is babbling incoherently. If I'm talking to myself, imagine I'm not on camera right now. I'm saying, okay, I need to get this. I need to get this. Where's my keys? Where's my keys? Okay, that's not psychotic. That is actually constructive. They've done studies where it helps you. But what she's doing is similar, if not exactly what they're describing as psychosis or psychotic symptoms. Okay, now let's move to the next one. Let's see if that one is loaded yet. Okay, let's move to the next one. This is me showing aggressive behavior. Now watch.
Almost got caught. This bitch is acting up, all this shit, right? And then you might see a rival gang member. He might realize that he fucking misplaced his sack. He's like, fuck. He's like, at least I can smoke some motherfucking weed. It's weed time, baby. You know what I'm saying? I got no worries. Oh, shit. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. Where'd I put it? Where did I put it? Where the fuck did I fucking put it? Where the fuck did I put? Where'd I put it?
Now, notice I'm acting. I know damn well I'm on camera. There's nothing psychotic about that. Now let's go to one of my, we'll go one with this one. This one is probably the most controversial. I made it recently. I thoroughly explained why I was feeling that way. That is the most controversial. Okay, let's go to one of the most controversial. Now this one, I'm talking about being a warrior, which is automatically going to put you in a more pumped up state of mind. Just like when someone in the military is talking about, reflecting on a battle he had. See, they're shooting at us, and there were snipers, and things going on, boom, boom. It gets you worked up, right? Now watch.
Yes, that I have mastered, not the showbiz bitches, not the creatine steroid using scum. They can be all big and strong, trying to intimidate all they want. You're looking like Swiss cheese over there, big, strong man. Go ahead, get worked up.
Now that is what you call a storytelling fashion, okay? I'm telling a fucking story. I'm worked up. I just happen to be telling a story about myself. Now, so the most worked up you'll ever see me is when I'm telling a story. If that's not artistic expression, what is? Lord.
Squirt, 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 instead of do. It's squirt, 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 as their heart beats more and more, as they try to get, I'm gonna grab you, but you're bleeding, and you're slow, and you're so, a big ape arms away from me, you pussy. You're bleeding out, you're gonna die, because you failed to concede my point. Your lack of honor and common sense has killed you. Well, the churches.
Now, I'm very glad I found that for this video. That is probably the most angry, the most out of the ordinary perhaps you'll ever see. And it is exactly understandable. It is extremely understandable. Anyone in my shoes would be acting a similar way. I'm talking about going to war and people trying to kill me and me killing them and me telling them how I feel about their lack of understanding. Basically what I was describing is that somebody who disagrees with me about my martial art point, which when two martial artists or two warriors or two fighters or two people are disagreeing about something that has to do with killing people, you can imagine feelings run high. Anger runs high and emotions run high. And I'm talking about after they try to attack me and I kill them and I'm telling them, because you didn't see it my way, something like that, now you're dead in a very angry fashion, extremely understandable. Now, if you don't realize I've proved my point by now, there's something seriously wrong with you. And hopefully we can get this, okay, I'm going to refresh this. This is key, Because the second to last thing I was diagnosed with, the very last thing was, there's nothing wrong with you. You just act weird when you're high on marijuana, which is pretty much what I've been saying my entire life. But the second to last thing was psychosis. Now, this is a psychotic episode. Watch. And I encourage you all to look up psychosis and psychotic episodes. You will see that none of them resemble me. None of these bipolar guys resemble me, any more than anyone else, per se. Now watch this. This guy is walking aimlessly through his fucking house.
Tell us what God's telling you to do. I guess God's saying, hey, Asian Jesus. Hey, Asian Jesus. I guess it's bringing me to the kitchen.
Now, how could you possibly compare me to somebody who believes that God is saying, hey, Asian Jesus to him. Saying it, not inspiring him, but actually saying it. He's hearing voices. He's walking around aimlessly through his house. Okay? This has never happened. Nothing anywhere close. Watch. This is what they claimed that was wrong with me.
Sure what I'm doing.
You see how ridiculous it is?
It's a weird habit. I don't think I'm controlling this, bro.
And listen, why it's happening, he's talking to himself. He knows it's happening. He can't control the way he's acting. He knows. You know, a lot of these people, they know something's wrong with them. Okay? So if this was happening to me, I would know. And I would say, hey, you know what? I don't want to act this way. I'm going to get myself help. And if I, you know, I probably wouldn't turn to psychiatry, but I'd say that there's this problem and I'm going to treat it this way. And I'd be making videos about the problem that I'm treating using homeopathic or Tai Chi or etc., Eastern medicine, etc., etc. Okay? But nothing like this is happening to me. But yet I was accused of it and put on high the same medication you would give this guy, the same doses, antipsychotics, mood stabilizers, are what they gave me. When every time you have seen me angry on camera, every single time I had a reason to be upset. This guy, for no apparent reason, believes God is talking to him and he is wandering aimlessly through his house, or whatever house that is. Now, let's not forget, by being misdiagnosed and having your family and psychiatry colluding, trying to force you on medications and coerce you into take them is enough to be very angry every video for the rest of your life. Because every day it's happening and nobody is standing with you. Think about that. Think.
Yep, do Pat.
Now, let's go to my most controversial video ever. And if this doesn't prove my point, I'm sorry, but you're a dumbass if you don't see it my way at this point, especially after this. Now, I have to go 8 minutes into the video, 8 minutes after talking about the African Holocaust, 6 million African, sub-Saharan African people. My father, half my family pretty much is from sub-Saharan Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, okay? And they're being fucking killed and swept under the rug. Okay, if you believe that 5 million Jews died in the Holocaust, well, 6 million Africans die of communicable diseases, infectious diseases, preventable diseases, every single fucking year in Africa. So if the Jews have a right to be upset about the Holocaust and nut up on camera, oh, you don't talk about Palestine, they're acting like the Nazis and nut up out of control. You know, quote unquote, the most educated people in the world. Nut up out of control. For those of you who don't know, act up, get very emotional over a Holocaust that happened one time. Imagine every single year, 1 million more people than the Jews who died in the Holocaust. 1 million more. Every single year. 8 minutes into the video.
It's a sick joke to address the earth and climate change and police brutality.
Not acting out of the ordinary yet?
Because you're too concerned with
not yet.
It's threatened, and it's
not
actually,
yet.
I don't care what your excuse is, there's no excuse.
Not
so
yet.
Millions of people die of preventable deaths.
So at 13 minutes still, 13 minutes later, I'm still not acting out of the ordinary. I'm doing a great fucking job of keeping my cool. I'm abnormally calm. Anyway.
And you act like we can't simply make a healthy society. A society where people, I mean, if it was any other race, you people kill people, and it bothers me. Humanity.
And I'm even telling them that, look, I'm bothered for a good reason. You people kill people, and it bothers me.
Extended family, and you're killing my family. Each one is a member of my fucking family, and you're not gonna get away with it.
I mean, if you don't understand the difference between my behavior and the fucking people I've shown you in these videos, you are a fucking idiot. Let's see if we can find the most controversial fucking blood. Maybe at this point, okay, 18 minutes later. This is actually more than 18 minutes because these are 2 different clips. The clip is a maximum 15 minutes. That's why I have to end this video soon, matter of fact.
People die in Africa every year. You know, why? What's going on here? How's it possible? You know?
I'm starting to lose my cool, quote unquote, lose my mind for a logical reason, the same reason everyone else would. So what do you... So, as you can see, I'm more than capable of adjusting my behavior when I'm around people. You know that because the only time anyone has ever called the cops on me outside of my parents for my behavior was when I was drunk in public off of Santa Teresa, by Cahalan or something like that. Extremely drunk, beer cans all around my car. You know that. You know that for 34 years, every psych ward visit has been a result of my parents calling. And you know that you have misdiagnosed me now. It should be very apparent. So then why don't you people do the right thing? Because you are abusing your authority for political reasons. I go as far as to say for secret society agendas. What you're doing is wrong. And you seem to justify it to yourself by saying how you're doing it for your family. It's a very dangerous thing to do. Because when we realize as a people that we've been made to suffer, eugenics is being done on us so that your family can have it easy. And you've recruited people that your family thought were cute and attractive, into secret societies. That's why there's a lot of attractive women in secret societies. There's a lot of attractive women, a lot of old women, then there's some bigger women. And that's a result of the bigger women in these secret society families making a push to be more accepted in society. Everything you have done is for your families. Okay? The reason why I haven't been able to work out in a week is because you were covertly drugging me and I cut my finger for your families. The reason why you put poison oak on my clothes or car or wherever you did it was for your families. The reason why people are tricked into aborting their children, which are part of their family, or would have been, potentially were part of their, were going to be part of the family, was for your families. So basically, your wicked agenda has subsumed every political movement. Your fastidious activities were quite malicious. And of course, you're not going to stop. You're not going to stop your unadulterated evil. Why? Because you're not fair and balanced. So, when I act like this, when I deem it necessary, and in 3,400 videos in my most emotional state, every single video where I act out of the ordinary is understandable. I challenge you to, I will give $10,000 to anyone who could definitively prove that one video I've made out of 3,400 is, shows symptoms of a mental disorder and not symptoms of anger and being sad for a good reason. The topic will reflect it. The subject matter will reflect it. The covert drugging will reflect it. Is there a standard for how one should behave when they are angry? Is there a standard for how one should behave when they are upset? Perhaps there is. But now let's apply this standard to our own room, in artistic expression on YouTube, in one's own room. What is the standard then? Have I been treated fairly? No. Because you can ask people at Safeway, when I go to the store, I'm there for like 30, 45 minutes. I'm not acting out of the ordinary. So then what possible excuse could you have? When I was at University of Phoenix, was I yelling and screaming at the top of my lungs? Or was I acting normal? For, 2.5 years on campus? And another 1.5 years online? It's a long time to be acting normal. Why didn't they call the police on me at University of Phoenix for abnormal behavior? That's right, because I demonstrated consistency with normal behavior. Bear in mind, I was in and out the psych ward maybe 4 times in those 4 years. Never once did University of Phoenix call on me, even though I'm in public, because I wasn't acting out of the ordinary. The only time they were ever called on me was when I was in my own home, not hurting anybody, and almost every time in my room. And then there was a time when I was yelling on YouTube for an understandable reason at the police, and they took it as a threat. I mean, there is an appalling lack of evidence of any mental disorder, but the behavior police, those who stand by social norms and secret societies and controlled opposition and political movements that are controlled, have gone out of their way to make it seem that way. Countless trolls taking advantage of the situation. You have proven definitively that political dissidents can be falsely labeled with mental disorders, and groups of trolls can dedicate their time to feeding into that misconception. You've proven definitively that psychiatry, on record, misdiagnoses a large percent of people, and off record, misdiagnoses an even larger one, and puts them on harmful medications the result of which feeds into the eugenic agenda of killing off undesirables, because there are kill rates. There are death rates, just like Nazis had kill rates. They said this many people will die when we send them to the camp. You don't have to be killing people outright to be doing eugenics. Nazi Germany displayed that, exemplified that quite well. You just have to put them in a situation where a certain amount die, and to have that targeted population be undesirables, such as people who are deemed mentally ill, which was the case in the first concentration camps. The first people to go to the concentration camps were mixed black and people, mixed race, and people who were deemed mentally ill. Okay, then were the political dissidents and the Jews, who were deemed undesirable as well, but they pretty much fell into the category of political dissidents because of the global boycotts against Germany. So eugenics wasn't about killing Jews. When you truly break it down, Jews were just the largest group of political dissidents, perhaps. It was about killing political dissidents, the mentally ill, mixed race peoples, or people who were deemed mentally ill. Okay, those are the three main groups of people, and I fall into the category of all three. So anyone who fails to see the parallels here is seriously ignorant. Thank you.